It's very helpful in our practice to contemplate the qualities of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. This weekend I was doing some preparation for the course on the paths and stages of Bodhisattva that we've been going through, and going through the 10 bhumis or the 10 grounds and the qualities that Bodhisattvas develop on each ground and how they're tied to the different far-reaching practices and so on and so forth. And it's really quite inspiring to think about this and to think that we too can generate those same qualities and to see how those qualities increase as, the understanding of emptiness deepens and as one's merit increases, that allows you to really develop greater and greater qualities and understanding of emptiness, all the way through the Bodhisattva paths and stages till full Buddhahood. And so I find that contemplating that kind of material makes my mind very hopeful, not helpful. Well, maybe helpful too, because it kind of gives you a vision of, well, this is the way I want to develop myself. These are the qualities I want to develop. Here's a set out path that you go about developing these qualities through. And there are beings who have done that and who have developed those qualities and gone full, to Buddhahood. And so I find that very inspiring for my own practice and invigorating for my own practice, because then it gives me a lot of energy to practice. And it also makes me realize that I'm not alone in this endeavor, that there's all these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who are trying to help and teach and guide and so on. Yeah, and so it gives a vision of what I can become, and then also what other people around me can become. And that's very helpful. When we get annoyed at somebody, we tend to see them as somebody that's just casting concrete and they're always going to be like this. But then to remember that this person too can progress through all the Bodhisattva paths and stages and go to full Buddhahood as well, then it helps you loosen that grasping at true existence at whatever appearance you have at that moment, and realize, there's a continuity of mind stream there that has incredible potential, and I shouldn't dig myself into a hole about, who somebody is forever and ever, because they're not going to be like that forever and ever. Just like I'm not going to be the way I am forever and ever. Yeah, and so I think it generally helps, in many aspects, and it lightens our mind, it deepens our refuge, it gives us some feeling of being held, by the path and by what we want to do with our lives. Yeah. So it's very good, since we take refuge at the beginning of every practice we do, to integrate your studies in the Lamrim about refuge and from the paths and stages those teachings we've been having on Thursday nights, to integrate some contemplation about those topics, so that then when you take refuge and say, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, you really know what you're taking refuge in, and you have some real heart feeling and connection. And I think that connection is very important and very sustaining for our practice. Okay, so I really recommend, putting some meditation on the qualities of the 3 jewels, before your refuge taking each day, at least in one practice, and even if you just do it for a minute or two, but especially after you've heard teachings on it, or if you've been doing studies on it, do some more extensive meditation on that. And it really helps to uplift the mind. Yeah?
I had found that his holiness, it was an article where he called first when he's doing this practice, that he starts with thinking about the qualities of the Buddha, then going over towards the self, where's the self, and then emptiness and arising and so on. So he starts with it actually.
Yeah, it's included there. Yeah, because when you think about the qualities of the Dharma, you're thinking about emptiness, true cessation, aren't you?